Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Hentges with Beyond the Chart, and in this stock chart review video, I'm going to take a look at Caterpillar and see how the sputtering global economy is impacting CAT. We're going to look at a weekly and daily basis, so stay tuned. All right, we're going to start off here long-term weekly. This is all the data I've got on CAT, and you can see here's the low back down over here in 1984, December 1984. And this is all split adjusted, of course. So this is like $3.60 low. And then it hit a high well over 100 up in here. So right now, when I look at this on an Elliott Wave basis, and this is on a semi-log chart, so this keeps all of the waves, everything in proportion. 1 inch on the screen down here is the same percentage move as 1 inch on the screen up here. So I believe we had an impulse wave 1 here that peaked in 1987. Then we had the big break of 1987 and it kind of pulled back, chopped sideways, and continued to roll over, finally bottoming here in 1991. And then we had a very strong third wave, impulse wave coming up, and then a long, choppy sideways wave 4 that concluded in 2002, October 2002, when the stock market bottomed. Then we get the fifth wave up, and it peaked in here at in July of 2007. So right before the financial crisis, and then a strong three-wave downdraft move that, you know, I drew this channel in here, taking the lows of cycle wave 2, cycle wave 4, and doing a parallel with 1 and 3, and this worked out almost perfectly, you know, in terms of the parallel. Now 5 didn't quite go to the top of it. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it throws over, and then it pulled back, and we got like an ABC pullback in here. Now the thing to notice about this ABC pullback here, this A, what I'm calling wave A, I mean, because I believe that we've had 5 impulse waves up. This whole move is topped out, and we've broken down through this channel here, and I think that's pretty critical. Now we got a pretty big reactive move back up. I think we're working, let me zoom in. I think what we're working here is a classic you know, large flat, you know, some kind of a large flat. At least that's the best thing that I'm thinking right now. You've got an A and B. B goes back to the beginning of A and sometimes goes beyond the beginning of A, and many times it does. Okay, and that's why we've got this B up in here. And then the next move would be a C wave moved back down. Okay, and C is typically going to be, well, not typically, C wave is a 5 wave. In a flat, you have a 3, 3, 5. That's the way it works. So right now, this got a little complicated and a little bit messy, and let's take a look at that. So I'm going to get back to my mouse, and let's zoom in a little bit. So right now, I believe we're working an A, B of a very large super cycle type top that's going in here. And then now what it looks to me like that we got 5 waves down here. And again, this is on a weekly chart, that we got 5 waves down, a 3-wave pullback. This 3-wave pullback in A, B, C, it completes a first, what I call a wave. And so this is why I call this a 3-3 combination. There's a double combination and a 3-3 combination. Okay. And the reason we call this combination is because sometimes corrective waves become very complex and they combine. Instead of just getting a pure zigzag like wave W, like we have here, a zigzag in ABC, it combines and creates multiple patterns that combine in here as it pushes sideways. So that's what it looks like to me that we've got. I think we got a zigzag W, we got an X, which is like a connecting wave. Then we got another A, B, C wave Y that I'm labeling it. Then we get another X, and that's why we're getting this triple combination. We have one pattern, a second pattern, and a third pattern over here. And then that's why then this wave 2 completes itself. So we have wave 1 and wave 2, and you notice how wave 2 is basically a sideways type of correction. And, you know, pretty complex, very messy in here. And now that we've got the wave 2, now we're starting a wave 3 down. And so let me go ahead and delete that, come back to this. And so now I believe we have an intermediate wave 1 down, and we're now working a wave count within that. And let me zoom in just a little briefly here. And so even because of the way waves overlap and looking at the cycle, this is the best wave count I've got on it. So I think intermediate wave 1, intermediate wave 2 pullback, and then we've got minor wave 1 and minor wave 2. Now, if this pushes above this, then clearly we have to adjust the wave count. Let's take a look at the daily chart and see what's happening. So here's where I've got this intermediate wave 1, then we've got this 2 pullback, and now it looks like a little 5-wave structure of minor wave 1 and a 3-wave 2 pullback. So that fits the scenario of 5, 3, and then now what I'm expecting is another 5-wave and for this to start coming down. Why do I have this arrow here? Because I put an arrow on the daily charts to remind me that the blue-gray, which is the 21, is below the 55, the red line. So that is to remind me that as I look for setups, I'm looking for setups in the direction of the intermediate trend, and that's the intermediate trend right now is to the downside, which is exactly what I'm expecting. All right, that's the picture for Caterpillar. We're looking forward to continue to the downside, and we'll continue to monitor this closely. It's pretty widely held stock and very visible, and also pretty key to what's happening around the globe with the global economy. All right, if you found this video helpful, hit the thumbs up signal and share the video. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and subscribe. All right, everyone, we'll talk to you on the next video.